Ladies and gentlemen, in 2025, you owe it to yourself to step into a new version of who you are, one that is aligned with your deepest desires and purpose. You owe it to yourself to break free from the limitations of your past, to release the beliefs and habits that have kept you stuck, and to begin living with intention and clarity. This is not just another year, not just another opportunity for resolution. This is the moment, the catalyst for a profound shift in your life. Too often we get caught in cycles of unfulfilled potential, allowing fear, doubt, and uncertainty to guide our decisions. But today I want you to understand something. Those limitations are not the truth of who you are. They are stories you've told yourself, patterns you've been conditioned to believe. You have within you the power to rewrite those stories, to step into a new narrative, one where you are limitless, capable, and deserving of everything you've ever dreamed. The truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you want to live is the way you perceive yourself and the actions you are willing to take. In 2025, you owe it to yourself to make a choice to move beyond your fears, beyond your doubts, and to act in alignment with your highest potential. It is easy to stay comfortable in the known, to avoid change because the unknown feels scary. But the only way to create change, to step into the person you are meant to be, is by embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. You are the creator of your reality, and everything you experience is a reflection of the energy you put out into the world. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions are powerful, and they shape the life you live. If you continue to live as you have, nothing will change. But if you decide today that 2025 is the year you claim your power, that you let go of the old patterns that no longer serve you, you will begin to see the world shift around you. You owe it to yourself to honor your potential, to trust that you are capable of greatness. You are worthy of success, of love, of fulfillment, and most importantly, of living a life that is true to you. The question is not whether you deserve it. The question is whether you are willing to step into it. 2025 is your year. You have everything it takes to make it the most powerful year of your life. Trust yourself, take the leap, and watch as your life begins to transform in ways you've never imagined. Transformation is the process of changing from one state to another, evolving into a version of yourself that is more aligned with your desires, purpose, and potential. It begins with the realization that who you are today does not have to be who you remain tomorrow. Transformation is not about changing your external circumstances or waiting for the world to shift. It is about shifting your inner world. It is the choice to think differently, act differently, and show up differently in your life. Every small change you make inside yourself has the power to influence your reality in profound ways. At the heart of transformation is the willingness to release old beliefs, old habits, and old ways of thinking that no longer serve you. You must challenge the limiting thoughts and patterns that have kept you stuck. These limitations are often not even real. They are merely stories you've told yourself over time. These stories, however, have shaped the way you see the world and interact with it. In order to transform, you must confront these stories and replace them with new ones. Stories that empower you, that reflect your strength, your potential, and your true desires. Transformation requires courage because it takes you into unknown territory. It means stepping away from what feels comfortable, familiar, and safe, and embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. This discomfort is the fertile ground from which change emerges. It is through embracing the unknown and trusting the process of evolution that you begin to unlock new levels of personal growth and empowerment. The key to transformation is consistency. It is the ongoing commitment to showing up each day as the person you are becoming, not as the person you once were. Transformation is a process, not an event, and it unfolds as you continue to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the life you wish to create. Every choice you make, every step you take is part of the journey. Potential is something that resides within each and every one of us, a vast well of untapped power and possibility. It is the hidden resource waiting to be realized that can propel you toward unimaginable achievements. The key to unlocking your potential lies not in discovering something new, but in rediscovering what has always been inside you. Too often, people underestimate their own potential because they believe they are limited by their past, their circumstances, or their current abilities. But in truth, your potential is boundless. It is not defined by where you've been or where you are right now. It is defined by where you are willing to go. The process of unlocking your potential begins with awareness. You must first understand that the limits you perceive are not necessarily the truth. They are mental constructs shaped by past experiences and societal expectations. Once you realize this, you can begin to shift your mindset, breaking free from the mental boundaries that have kept you small. The next step is belief, believing that you are capable of far more than you currently imagine. This belief is not about ego or arrogance. It is about recognizing your inherent power to grow, evolve, and accomplish. Once you believe in your potential, the next step is action. Potential without action remains dormant. It is your responsibility to take the necessary steps toward realizing your potential. This means stepping out of your comfort zone, taking risks, and committing to constant growth. Every small action you take toward your goals amplifies your potential and moves you closer to realizing the version of yourself that has always been waiting to emerge. Your potential is not a distant dream. It is the very energy that drives you forward, and it's yours for the taking if you choose to align with it. Growth is a constant and essential part of life, an ongoing process that never truly stops. It is the journey of expanding beyond your comfort zones, pushing through your limitations, and continuously evolving into a better version of yourself. Growth is not something that happens passively. It requires effort, intentionality, and the courage to face discomfort head-on. To grow, you must first acknowledge that you are not fixed in your current state. You are not the sum of your past mistakes or failures, nor are you the product of the circumstances that surround you. Growth is about evolving from the inside out, changing how you think, how you feel, and how you act. It requires the ability to be vulnerable, to open yourself to new experiences, and to learn from every challenge you encounter. Growth is also about embracing the discomfort that comes with change. It's easy to stay in the familiar, in the known, but true growth occurs when you step outside of what feels comfortable. It's in those moments of uncertainty and challenge that the seeds of growth are planted. Whether you're facing a difficult decision, learning a new skill, or navigating a challenging situation, the discomfort you feel is a sign that you are on the verge of transformation. Rather than avoiding discomfort, you must learn to welcome it, knowing that it is an essential part of the process. Another critical aspect of growth is self-awareness. You cannot grow if you're not aware of where you're starting from. Recognizing your strengths, weaknesses, beliefs, and patterns allows you to make intentional changes that lead to growth. Self-reflection is a vital tool in this process, as it enables you to assess where you are and where you want to go. Growth is not always linear, it may have its ups and downs, but as long as you continue to challenge yourself, you will continue to evolve. Perception is the lens through which we view the world, shaping our experiences and understanding of reality. The way you perceive your circumstances, your relationships, and even yourself plays a crucial role in how you navigate life. Perception is not a static, fixed view. It is fluid and often influenced by your beliefs, past experiences, and emotions. Two people can face the same situation, yet their perceptions of it can be vastly different. What you perceive as a setback might be seen by someone else as an opportunity, and this difference in perception is what ultimately determines the outcomes you experience. The power of perception lies in its ability to shape your reality. If you perceive your challenges as obstacles that are too difficult to overcome, you may feel defeated before you even begin. However, if you choose to see those same challenges as stepping stones for growth, they become opportunities to learn and evolve. It is not the situation itself that defines your experience, but how you choose to interpret it. By shifting your perception, you can transform your entire approach to life. When you change how you see things, the things you see change. Perception is also closely tied to your beliefs. What you believe about yourself, your capabilities, and the world around you will directly influence your perception of events. If you believe that the world is full of scarcity, you will perceive opportunities as rare and difficult to come by. On the other hand, if you adopt a mindset of abundance, you will begin to perceive the world as full of possibility and potential. The beliefs that shape your perception are not fixed. They are adaptable. As you challenge limiting beliefs and adopt new empowering ones, you open yourself up to a broader, more positive perspective. Limitation is often something we create in our minds, a mental construct that restricts our ability to move forward and reach our full potential. We tell ourselves that we cannot achieve certain things because of our past, our circumstances, or our perceived lack of ability. These limitations are often self-imposed, and yet they feel very real. They stem from beliefs that have been ingrained in us over time, often through past experiences or the influence of others. But the truth is, limitations are not facts. They are just stories that we continue to tell ourselves. Once you recognize that these limitations are not set in stone, you begin to understand that you have the power to rewrite them. The first step in overcoming limitation is awareness. You must recognize the patterns of thinking that have held you back. This means acknowledging the limiting beliefs you hold about yourself, whether it's thinking you're not good enough, not worthy of success, or that your dreams are too big. These beliefs are often rooted in fear, and fear is one of the most powerful forces that keeps us stuck. Once you see the limitations for what they are, just thoughts and beliefs, you can begin to challenge them. The next step is to replace these limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of telling yourself you can't, begin telling yourself that you can. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you can create. It's about shifting your perspective from one of scarcity to one of abundance. When you believe in your ability to overcome obstacles and create the life you desire, you start taking action toward those goals. Breaking free from limitation requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to embrace discomfort, and the courage to challenge old beliefs. The more you practice replacing limitations with empowering beliefs, the more you begin to see new possibilities in your life. What once seemed impossible becomes attainable when you change the way you think and the way you perceive the world. Action is the driving force behind transformation. Without action, even the most powerful thoughts and desires remain nothing more than ideas. Action is what bridges the gap between intention and reality, turning aspirations into tangible results. It is not enough to simply wish for change or hope that things will get better. You must actively engage with your goals and take steps toward them. Every action you take, no matter how small, creates momentum. The energy you put out into the world begins to come back to you, propelling you forward toward your desired outcome. The process of action involves more than just physical movement. It requires alignment of the mind, body, and spirit. It is about being clear on your goals, staying focused, and acting with purpose. When you take action, you are making a statement to the universe. You are ready for change, and you are willing to put in the work necessary to make it happen. This commitment to action sends out powerful signals that the world responds to. Action also requires courage. It often means stepping outside your comfort zone, facing uncertainty, and trusting that the steps you are taking will lead you in the right direction. Many people are paralyzed by fear or doubt, and as a result, they never move forward. But those who take consistent action, even when they don't have all the answers, are the ones who eventually achieve success. Each action builds confidence and clarity. The more you act, the more you learn, and the clearer the path becomes. Taking action also means being flexible and open to adjusting your approach when necessary. Not every action will lead to immediate results, and not every step will be the right one. However, each experience provides valuable lessons and insights that guide you toward your goal. Action is about progress, not perfection. Success is not a random event or a lucky break. It is the result of deliberate effort, persistence, and consistency. Success is a mindset, a way of thinking, and a way of being that aligns with your deepest desires and purpose. It doesn't happen overnight, and it certainly doesn't come without its challenges. Success is built on the foundation of hard work, sacrifice, and the willingness to keep moving forward despite obstacles. It's about staying committed to your vision even when the path is unclear, and trusting that each step you take is a step closer to your goal. The first step towards success is clarity. Without a clear vision, it is easy to get lost in distractions and detours. Success requires knowing exactly what you want, why you want it, and being able to visualize it in your mind. When you have a clear vision, your actions become focused and intentional. Every decision, every step is aligned with that vision, making it much easier to stay on track. Persistence is another critical element of success. The road to achieving your goals is often filled with setbacks, disappointments, and failures. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned, but true success belongs to those who don't give up. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow. Success isn't about avoiding failure, it's about overcoming it and continuing on your journey. Lastly, success requires patience. It's easy to want instant results, but the most lasting success comes from consistent effort over time. Trust the process and understand that success is built on the small, seemingly insignificant actions you take every day. Success is not about getting everything right from the start. It's about the willingness to keep going, no matter what. The key is to stay focused, stay committed, and know that every step forward, no matter how small, is moving you toward the life you desire. Change is one of the few constants in life, yet it's also one of the most resisted forces. We often fear change because it brings the unknown, and the unknown can feel unsettling, uncomfortable, and even frightening. However, change is essential for growth and transformation. Without change, there is stagnation, and without stagnation, there can be no evolution. The most successful individuals in life are those who understand that change is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. Change is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be, and it requires the willingness to leave behind old habits, beliefs, and comforts. The process of change often begins with awareness, the recognition that something in your life needs to shift. It may be a shift in your mindset, your habits, or your actions. This awareness is the spark that ignites transformation. Once you recognize the need for change, the next step is to accept it, to acknowledge that change is not a threat but an opportunity. Opportunities for growth, learning, and new experiences are embedded within every change. The discomfort you feel in the face of change is simply your mind and body adjusting to a new way of being. Change requires courage. It asks you to step into unfamiliar territory and take risks. It's easy to stay where things feel safe, but growth never happens in your comfort zone. Embracing change means letting go of the certainty of the old and trusting in the possibility of something new. Every time you make a conscious decision to change, you move closer to becoming the person you are meant to be. Change isn't something that happens to you, it's something you initiate. You have the power to choose how you respond to change. And by choosing to embrace it, you unlock the potential for a life that is richer, more meaningful, and more aligned with your true desires. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that can hold us back from reaching our full potential. It creates barriers, stirs doubt, and prevents us from taking the necessary steps toward our dreams. Fear often masquerades as protection, a way of keeping us safe from failure, rejection, or disappointment. But in reality, it only limits us. The truth is, fear is an illusion. It's a construct of the mind, a story we tell ourselves based on past experiences, societal expectations, or imagined outcomes. The more we let fear dictate our actions, the smaller our world becomes. When we allow fear to control our lives, we prevent ourselves from experiencing the growth and success that come with stepping outside of our comfort zones. In order to overcome fear, you must first recognize it for what it is, a temporary emotion that doesn't have the power to define you. Fear only has as much power as you give it. When you face your fear head on, you start to understand that it doesn't have the ability to control you unless you allow it. In fact, fear often signals that you are on the verge of growth or stepping into something new and challenging. It is a natural part of the process of change. The key to moving beyond fear is to take action despite it. Action disrupts fear. It creates momentum and pushes you toward the unknown, where true potential resides. The more you take bold, courageous steps forward, the more you prove to yourself that fear is just an illusion. Each small victory over fear builds confidence, and as your confidence grows, fear loses its grip on you. It is not about eliminating fear entirely, but about learning to move through it with strength and determination. The more you face your fears, the more empowered you become. Self-belief is the foundation upon which everything in life is built. Without belief in yourself, it becomes impossible to achieve anything meaningful. When you believe in your own abilities, you unlock the power to transform your life and pursue your goals with relentless determination. The problem for many people is that they struggle to truly believe in themselves. They allow past failures, the opinions of others, and self-doubt to dictate how they see themselves. But the truth is, your self-worth and capabilities are not defined by your past or by the judgment of others. You are the creator of your reality, and the first step to creating the life you desire is believing that you are worthy of it. Believing in yourself means trusting your intuition, your talents, and your unique journey. It means recognizing that you have the strength to overcome challenges and the ability to achieve your goals, regardless of the obstacles in your way. Self-belief does not come from external validation or approval. It comes from within. It's about acknowledging your own power and knowing that you have what it takes to succeed. This belief serves as the fuel that drives you to keep going, even when the road gets tough. Self-doubt, on the other hand, is a self-imposed limitation that holds you back from stepping into your full potential. It creates mental barriers and keeps you stuck in a cycle of inaction and uncertainty. The key to breaking free from self-doubt is to replace those negative thoughts with positive affirmations and to take action even when you don't feel ready. Every time you take a step forward despite the fear or doubt, you strengthen your belief in yourself and prove to your subconscious that you are capable of great things. The more you trust yourself, the more confident and empowered you become.